She is a veteran journalist, two-time Emmy award-winning TV host, best-selling author, and executive producer of the Tamron Hall Show. Y'all please welcome our good friend Tamron Hall, if you would.
Yes!
Tamron!
You didn't lead with my good friend first. That's what you're supposed to say. My good friend is calling in.
See?
I be trying not to name drop. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, listen, I really, really appreciate everything that you've done to me. And I do consider you a friend and a sister. And I absolutely love you. And thank you for being so wonderful to me during my times of trouble and stuff, and I just absolutely love you. My good friend Tamron Hall, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on now.
Yes.
That's better.
I feel the same way. I swear, I'm actually happy that we're on the phone because whenever I'm in the room with you, I start crying. Because you're just so kind and sweet, and I love how you have used your story and your life as an inspiration and an example. And I love the fact that we both have children around 5 or 6 years old. And we both are of an age.
Hey, we got to do a play date, Tamron, for real.
Listen, no, we're not doing a play date. I will do a drop off. I will do a drop off, and you can have the twins and Moses and the twins. They can kick it. Y'all can do hair. Y'all can do all that stuff I see on your TikTok. I'm doing a drop off and a stamp and drive it off. That's what I'm doing.
I am so excited to have you on. And hey, Tamron, say what's up to your friend Alfreda's.
Hi, sunshine.
Hi, beautiful. First of all, can I just tell you how thrilled I am that Alfreda's and I have been best friends for more years than I can count on my hands. And the fact that she's now with you, it's like two birds of a feather flock together. Right. Good people find good people. So I'm so happy that y'all are together. I'm so jealous. I'm ready to just give up this TV thing and move in with y'all. I got a babysitter with Ricky, and I get to hang with my bestie. I'm joining the show.
Let's go.
Come on now.
The rest of the people on the show. Sorry to everybody else on the show. I'm coming.
That's
okay. Hey, Alfred, we're gonna make you an honorary member, official. Let's make it official. Come on, Dave.
That sounds unpaid. Nope.
Yes.
Unpaid. I don't know.
Get that money right. Get that money.
That sounds unpaid, and I am not interested.
Oh my gosh.
I am so happy.
No, we happy to have you.
Okay. Same.
All right, so Tamron, first of all, we're happy to have you, honey. Congratulations on everything. Now, I'm jealous here because, honey, I'm like, okay, you and Ricky and Alfreda, I've been knowing you for a while, too, when we were all in Dallas together.
I know, but you don't call. You don't call. You don't check in.
Get him.
You're like the cousin that I didn't know was out the joint. And then you
Get him.
Well, honey, Alfreda's be hating, honey, and now that since Ricky, honey, then came in the flock, honey, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to just let those girls have it, and I'm going to sit back, honey,
You can't
and
sit with
observe
us.
from afar.
Gary, you cannot sit with us.
I'm not going to get into this violent family clash over Ricky, but I'm going to say I have to side with Alfreda's on this one. But we do talk about you all the time. I mean, we're always talking. You don't visit. You don't write unless you need a loan. And I'm sick of this relationship.
Girl, it's a long story, Tamron, honey, but girl, we ain't got that much time. But honey, I'm gonna put it in my memoirs.
Listen. Let's get to it. Tam, congrats on making the New York Times best-selling list with your new book, Harlem, Honey, The Adventures of a Curious Kid. Listen, Moses and y'all, I have had the pleasure of being around Moses. This baby, oh my gosh, he is so Tamron. He is so your child. But let me ask you something.
Definitely that.
Oh my gosh, is it motherhood that interested you in children's books?
You know what? I have to say yes, because obviously this wasn't front of mind. You know, you've written your memoir, you've written books about your life. It's not something you're expecting until it happens in your life. And with Moses, he was born in 2019, and at our house, as Alfreda says, you know, he's outgoing. He's Mr. Talkity Talk. He's got a comment. He's like Gary. He's got something to say about everything. And then he goes out into the world, and he would go into the world. He would hide behind a grocery store. He didn't go to his first birthday party until he was 2 years old because I had to keep a stricter COVID protocol because I'm a single hosted show. So if I went down, so to speak, the show would go down. People don't realize we do 170 shows a year. We just passed 1,000 episodes, and they're all single hosted. And so 1,000 shows, and many of those were done in my house, in the basement of my house. So we kept really strict protocol, go out into the world, and he's really shy. So I started to think about, well, how do we talk to our kids about how to face your fears when you're meeting new people, new places, when you are experiencing change. And so that's where the book was born. Our first home was in Harlem. That's where the journey starts for this character. But in truth, Harlem is Stop 6, it's Oak Cliff, it's all of the neighborhoods that I lived in and hung out in, because it's our kids. And Ricky, you know now that you have 5-year-old twins, the first place that they really grow is our neighborhood. Georgia, you know that with your children, the first place they grow is the neighborhood. And we think about school as the first leap of growth, but it's not. And so this is really a love letter to how you talk about fear. We know that we don't say things like big boys don't cry or boy, don't you cry. We don't say that because crying and tears have their place. But how do you talk about fear, and how do you get them to understand that not everybody comes out the womb with a cape and a superhero? We all grow our confidence, and especially boys. One of the things that, and we were talking about Brandon as well, Ricky, when you were on the show, one of the things that was on my heart was really how we talk to our boys. We talk about men and mental health, but that mental health journey starts at the beginning. And people say, well, I'm going to teach my son how to treat a woman. I want to teach my son how to treat himself first. And then that determines how he treats whatever partner he chooses to have in his life. So this is really, it's an adventure. It's fun. We go to Sylvia's, we go to the Apollo, but in truth, it's curiosity can help us overcome our fears. And that's why Moses just finished. He got another Taekwondo belt. He just finished his little improv on stage and all of these things. And I think it was because I said, okay, how do we use curiosity? And so when we're walking down the street, I let him ask 1,000 questions, even though I'm hoping that I'm like, is this the last question this child's going to ask me? But curiosity makes them confident, and it gives them some sense of participation. So that's why I wrote the book. I know that was a long answer, but that's the truth.
It sure was, girl. And listen, Miss Tamron, girl, we know, honey, everybody went to journalism school. And Miss Alfreda's all off the damn script, and she done got into my question. But we all know your son name is Moses. So tell me this, Tamron. So is Moses the inspiration behind the book, honey? I mean, because it's a great book.
He is. You know what? Listen, his name is Moses. The inspiration, the character was Ebony Glenn, this brilliant African-American illustrator, just really captured I think the beauty of the characters. The best friend is Layla. She's a combination of little girls that Moses went to school with. But, yeah, Moses is the inspiration. He tried to read the book. Well, he reads really well, but he wanted to read it to his class. And I said, you can't. He said, but I'm Moses. And I said, honey, there was a Moses well before you, so maybe it's about him. Like,
yeah, he parted the Red Sea.
He did. And this kid parts me down the middle because he is so, I never imagined. I'm 54 with a 5-year-old, and it's wild. It is a wild thing.
I swear, I'm right there with you. And I have to say, you open so many doors for black women in the media. And I want to ask you, what is your advice for the next generation of dreamers that's trying to break through?
Yeah. You know, I just went to the NABJ in Houston, and it was a full circle moment because I went to my first one, like early 90s. And then going back this week, a couple of weeks ago, I should say, to do their conference. I look at Joanne Reed, I look at Don Lemon, I look at what happened to me, and I keep telling them, really the power is in your ownership. If I were coming out of college today, I would start a podcast, I would start a YouTube channel. Owning your content is so important now, Ricky, more than when we started out in radio and TV. You can't just depend on a network. You have to really figure out how you can monetize and own your content. And I think that is the future. I mean, I've pitched for years now, and Fridas will tell you, I have pitched for years a live black newscast, a 6:30, 30 minutes like Ed Gordon used to do. I've offered to host it. I've offered to host it. I've offered to produce it. Never gets traction. Don Lemon has kind of done the same thing. But I think the future really is podcasts. When you look at like the top 100 podcasts in the country or the top 100 YouTube channels, we have entertainment for sure, but like these substantive conversations, the things that you do, places where our books can be discussed in a fun and compelling way. We're not cracking through these top 100 podcasts in the way that we should be, and that is where the money is, and that is where the ownership is. And when you see few of us in spaces where the money is and the ownership is, it has to tell you something.
Yeah. You know, Tam, I was going to ask you, and I'm going to be honest with you, we had a situation yesterday in which I told something that I probably shouldn't have.
Boy.
But I want to know.
About me?
About us. about
I was
us.
at the club, Tamron. She said y'all was at the club.
Listen, let me tell y'all something you don't know about Tamron, because I was going to ask you what people would be shocked to know about you. Tamron is a ride or die. Okay, she is a ride. If she's with you, you ain't got to worry. Like she. And let me tell you something else about Tamron. She will give you the shirt off her back. This is who she is. Just always has been that way. But what is something?
You're buttering me up. What
Okay.
tell them?
No, I just want to
Here's
know.
a question.
Tamron, you remember that time that girl pulled my hair and you threw the glass at her?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Georgia almost got me put in jail. True story. We're walking in a club. Some random woman. We're going to, I don't know if it was Club Prime. It was somewhere in Dallas. We walk in the club. I see the girl out of the side of my eye, and I'm like, what is she doing? She walks up, hits Frida's she threw it? I think she threw a glass at you. It was some basketball player. There's a lot of basketball players involved in this story, but we won't name.
There's that.
A basketball player. I was dating a basketball player. She was dating a basketball. This was the 90s. And then you can do the math of the rosters of the team and figure it out. So there we are at the club. And the girl throws a glass at Frida's. And I'm like, what did just happen? And then Frida's is like going to the bathroom. And I don't think, even though she's from South Oak Cliff, I don't think she's ever had a fight. So I'm like, oh, my God, this girl's going to jump Frida's. And then we're walking out the door, and something happened. I don't remember.
Tamron, you know what? She tried to come up on us again. You were like, okay. I'm going to stand here.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, and we're like.
So I had to handle her.
Yes, she did.
And,
let me just tell you how it ended, though. Let me tell you how it ended.
So it ends with the girl is now terrified because I've handled her. And she then decides she's going to take out that on Frida. She threw a glass at Frida's. It cracks Frida's head. Thankfully, in addition to the basketball player, I was dating a plastic surgeon.
She was.
We rushed to the hospital, and the plastic surgeon
was on
meets us
call.
there. He was on call. And you know what? I just looked him up. He's still a surgeon, by the way.
Shut up. He did a really great job on my forehead. He stitched it right up.
He really did. And he's still handsome. And
really?
That is ride or die. When I tell you that's ride or die, that's ride or die.
Yes.
Man, come on. I love it.
My husband's on a plane somewhere, so he's not hearing that I looked up some expert.
The stories we have. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes, we do. I think that would be the most surprising thing. People, they see you on daytime and they know the role that I play. And I'm very happy listen, this show, after getting fired, and I know we all know that experience of losing to win, to be trending the next day that you're fired, to come back. It's been just I'm so grateful. It's like we just got renewed for 7 seasons. But in truth, a lot of things happen on the road to getting to this 7th season. But I think that would be the most surprising thing, that Alfreda's had me fighting in nightclubs for many years. That was not the only time.
Acting like a hood girl.
It was not the only time.
That's that Oak Cliff.
That's that Oak Cliff.
JT and Kareem, we were the city girls before the city girls.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let them know.
So, Tam, with all that being said, what is your go-to self-care vibe like? Maybe wine, candles, silence, or dance it out? Which one? Or any of them?
You know what? I meditate. I do transcendental meditation. I meditate twice a day for 20 minutes. I cook. That's why I came out with the cookbook. And yes, I enjoy wine, a lot of it, probably too much. But for me, honestly, I meditate. Before I wake up, I pray before I put my feet on the floor, because I am so grateful. My mother was a 19-year-old single mom from Luling, Texas. Nobody thought anything of her, and let alone thought anything of me. And because she worked multiple jobs, baking cakes at night and trying to go to school in the day, is why I'm here. So, I pray before I get out of the bed. I pray actually before I even walk out on our studio floor. When Ricky was there, because I want to be an example. I want to be a vessel of positivity. When Ricky comes up, I'm like, I don't like, it's not that I don't like talking about negative things, because sometimes you do have to address those things to get to where you need to be. But there are so many wonderful and beautiful celebratory stories about us, involving us, that don't get told on mainstream TV. I'll tell you quickly, Michael K. Williams from The Wire, I had him on my show before he passed away, and we really bonded. And one day I was walking down the street, and I saw him, and I had a mask on. It was COVID. He was like, I know those eyes anywhere. I see him. We start hugging. He starts crying, and he said to me, Tamron, do you know I never get booked on those mainstream daytime shows. If I do, they only want to have me on for a second and move me on. And we started crying, and he died soon after, right outside that building where we ran into each other. And it never left my heart what he said. Even, I've talked a little bit about my relationship with Prince, and Frida's knows. He really said to me, you have this responsibility, and I take that to heart when I walk out those doors. So between prayer and encouraging words from folks like y'all, it's like,
well, I tell
this
you
is
what,
a dream.
I tell you what, Tamron, I sat there and had to comfort you when I was telling the story about what happened to my son, and I'm trying to tell the story. I literally had to grab your hand and comfort you because, and then when I came back the second time, I just never forgot how the empathy that you had and the love and kindness that you had. And I just never, and I remember that more about you than any time, than both times being on your show, is just how sweet and caring and loving you was to me and towards me, and I just really love you and appreciate you. And I just want to tell you that.
I love you for that.
I love you too.
And tell you again.
And Pastor Haynes told me to tell you what's up.
I love Pastor Haynes too. We're the Love Fest over here. I love, what, I was getting inducted into the AKAs in July, and he was there, and he was so wonderful and so warm. But you know what you were saying, Ricky, about empathy and grace, I really, again, not getting on my soapbox, but on my soapbox, we deserve to give each other that. You deserve to receive that. You are a legend in radio. Nothing was given to you, and you are open about this journey, the difficult parts, the rough edges. You deserve to walk through those doors with a whole audience of people going off, not because of your performance, but because of your heart. And that's what we do. And you definitely had me in tears because, I'm a mom now, and hearing you talk about Brandon and being so real about his life and what you hope his life represents to people, that's a heart moment. That's not a phony moment. That's not a book. That's a dad. That's a heart moment. And that's what I was feeling from you.
Yeah, and we are so happy to have you. And I want you to come on the show more. And you're welcome to come on this show anytime.
No, I'm not. I'm not an honorary guest. I will be paid for my time. Come on.
I'll cash app you, Tamron. I'll cash app you.
You got to first pay us, hell. And then you get paid.
Wow, Gary.
I keep seeing people put that on their Instagram. I need to put a Cash App link. I'm going to do that right now. Let me get to business. I love you all. Thank you for celebrating Harlem, honey. It's available wherever books are sold. Ricky, I sent you a copy of it. I hope you read it to the girls. And Gary, I'll read it to you over wine.
Oh, now don't.
Okay,
because he can't read. Tamron, he can't read now.
Tamron, reading is fundamental, baby.
I said I would read it to him. I see them scripts coming in, just stumbling through names.
Okay, girl. I'm going to let you make it.
Y'all give it up and show your love. Tamron Hall, y'all. Come on. Yeah.